for a limited time, $1 gets you full access to all the automotive industry news and content CBTNews.com has to offer. CBT News. Subscribe today. Welcome to CBT News with Bridget Fitzpatrick.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to CBT News. I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's Chris Riggins with today's top stories.
Thanks, Bridget. Starting off our newscast, Carvana made some encouraging updates to its financial outlook, causing stocks to shoot up 20% in a single day. Although the company is still searching for effective ways to resolve its debt of $9 billion, it has created a new payment strategy to lower its cash interest expense. The used car retailer also published its first quarter guidance ahead of schedule, forecasting losses between $50 million and $100 million. In comparison, the company reported a far greater early year loss of $348 million in early 2022. Up next, Ford has revealed additional details for its new Blue Oval City plant currently under construction in Tennessee. The automaker now expects the facility to manufacture 500,000 EVs a year once it opens in 2025. While the new factory has the capacity to build multiple models, only one vehicle, a pickup codenamed the T3, is scheduled for production. CEO Jim Farley praised the T3 project, calling it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to revolutionize America's truck. By 2026, Ford hopes to make 2 million EVs annually. Rivian has added a feature which allows drivers to locate Tesla charging stations 1 month after the competing EV maker expanded access to its supercharger network. Tesla chargers are rated highly for their speed, but were originally built to connect exclusively to their own products. To unlock its stations to other brands, Tesla began installing adapters which work with most EVs. While Rivian customers can now find and use Tesla chargers with the adapter, only 12 locations have received the upgrade since the expansion was announced in February. And last up, Hyundai and Kia have issued massive recalls for over 571,000 vehicles after discovering a potential fire risk in some models. According to the two automakers, tow hitch harnesses on certain cars can catch fire even when parked. The recall affects Santa Fe SUVs, Santa Cruz pickups, and Carnival minivans built between 2021 and 2023. To prevent a potential fire from spreading, both brands are urging customers to keep their vehicles parked outside until they can see a technician for repairs. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next is Peter Layden, founder and principal at Reinvent Futures and a keynote speaker at Kepler Speakers. We'll be right back.
Delivering the news dealers count on for 10 years. Subscribe today and join thousands of other automotive professionals. CBT News, 10 years strong.
It's easy for business leaders and owners to get caught in the here and now instead of planning for the future, especially in light of societal and economic transformations over the past few years. On this edition of Inside Automotive, we're joined by Peter Layden, futurist, entrepreneur, founder and principal at Reinvent Futures, and a keynote speaker at Kepler Speakers. Check it out.
Let's drill down. What say you about our future here in the automotive sector, especially with as we approach this EV revolution that's upon us and will stay with us now, I guess, for the foreseeable future, right?
Well, so let me make this analogy because I think it was helpful to people in this conference I was talking to, and again, made up of a lot of dealerships, a lot of people like that.
Sure.
When you're in the beginning of one of these transitions, it's very hard to see how the system will evolve and how it will fill out, how it will work. And to give the one that we've all lived through, it wasn't clear in the mid 95 there was 25 million people on the internet and people so
25 million
25 million people, and now there's basically 60% of the world. It's over 4 billion people on the internet, right?
Yeah.
And so people didn't understand how those computers were that were clunky and weird. We're going to get into super small, and everybody's handheld one. They couldn't understand how the crude internet at the time where you're dialing up, I don't know, the modems and all kind of early stuff that was going on, how that was going to be ubiquitous, and you just walk anywhere and you'll be connected, outside.
Right.
And so this has played out, and we look at it now, we think you take it for granted. But at the time, people couldn't understand what that was going to do. And they didn't understand, like, how would a company like Amazon, what is an Amazon? And, they were selling physical books online. How were they going to end up dominating the entire, retail industry?
Sure.
They couldn't see that. I'll give you one other example. When I did this cover story that led to the book, Apple Computer was begging Steve Jobs to come back to be CEO because they were about 3 months from going bankrupt.
Yeah.
This is Apple Computer in the mid-90s. And, they became later the first $1 trillion company. And now, in fact, the beginning of the year here, they were hit $3 trillion. I mean, it's just shows, and these are trillions, which there had never been companies in the history of the planet that have hit $1 trillion, which we've done. Now, that happened in 25 years. And so this system happened, and these players grew, and it was just boom, 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 boom. And it has to do with understanding the tipping points, the adoption of these technologies, how fast they go. They go very slowly in the beginning, and then they hit these inflection points where it goes from a kind of maybe it's going to work in early adopters to eventually, oh my God, it's the future. Everyone's going to do it. And there's a paradigm shift, they think of this as, in terms of what we're doing. And I would argue, and I strongly argued it to this group, and I would argue to you here today, that in the electric mobility world, we hit that tipping point. And even though the adoption is very low right now, in terms of just raw numbers, you've seen the money move. You've seen all the auto players, all the players in modern to do. I think there's $350 billion went into electric mobility this last year.
All right, be sure to watch this interview in its entirety right here at cbtnews.com. That wraps up our show for today, but we invite you to join us back here again tomorrow morning for all the latest news and trends impacting the retail automotive industry. And be sure to follow us on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.
CBT News, your #1 resource for auto industry news and content. Join the #1 most watched newscast in the automotive industry. CBT News. Subscribe today.